Hello, everyone, once again. This is Rob. Welcome back to Media Awareness. Before I continue, a reminder the fundraiser continues. For those of you new to my channel or unaware, I am a disabled individual and I use a motorized wheelchair slash scooter all day, every day for my independence, and I need your help. My insurance will not cover anything with regard to my scooter as they view it as a quote luxury item end quote, despite the fact that I am unable to walk whatsoever, in addition to being unable to use any other type of scooter or powered chair or even a standard wheelchair for that matter, as I only have limited dexterity in one hand. In addition to that, I do not have a backup scooter or wheelchair to rely on at the current time. So if my scooter should malfunction as it did in the past, I will yet again be a fish out of water, a scenario I want to avoid at all costs. In addition to that, my wheelchair van has ceased functioning and I need my independence to be reliable. Therefore, it is crucial that I meet the goals that I have in mind. The scooter itself is in need of ongoing refurbishing, and I also plan on purchasing a brand new scooter to use moment to moment, day to day, every day, with my existing model completely refurbished, waiting in the wings to be used at a moment's notice if necessary, when necessary. Also, having the ability to go wherever I need to go in my own vehicle would be an ideal situation at the current time and in the future. So, a new wheelchair van is definitely a must as well. So, please do what you can. I would greatly appreciate anything that you can contribute. I do want to extend a gracious thanks to those who have contributed thus far, in addition to those who plan on contributing, as your contributions have and will make a world of difference in my life. Thank you all. I love you all. If you're not yet subscribed to Media Awareness, my channel, please consider subscribing and becoming part of the Media Awareness family. I'd love to have you. Also, if you do subscribe, be sure to click the bell icon. That way, you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video, much like this one. So, this is an album review of John Anderson, Survival and Other Stories. I'll show you a close up of this. Now, if you are a viewer of my channel, you know that this was an Easter gift to me, um, as was the other Frontier Music release from John Anderson as well, Earth, Mother Earth. Um, and I'm not going to review this today, and if anyone does want me to review this, I will. But all I'm going to say is this is a must have for any John Anderson fan. It's a beautiful album, originally released in 1997, now newly remastered and reissued on Frontier Music. So definitely get your hands on this while you can. Now, before I start talking about John Anderson's survival and other stories, I'm going to show you the packaging itself. It's standard jewel case. Here's the front. Here is the back with the track listing and other associated credits. This album was produced by John Anderson and Jane Anderson. Here is the interior with the booklet on one side and the CD on the other. So I'm going to do this review a bit different than I've done previous reviews. I'm just going to say what songs are really standout tracks for me because this entire album itself should be listened to from beginning to end. It is an experience. It's not just a simple track by track um, uh, album. It's more of a cohesive listening experience, and it should be enjoyed in that manner. So I'm just going to highlight some points that stood out for me personally. I'm also going to list the track listing on the screen here for you, and the lyrics were all written by John Anderson, of course. So I also want to note real quick that this album was a collaborative effort between John and his fans. He invited fans to submit MP3 files of musical compositions, and they were then combined with John's lyrics and vocals to give us the end result that we have on this beautiful album. It's absolutely beautiful. Starts out with New World, and you'll see on the screen the track listing along with the collaborator as well, um, and the track length. And this is a perfect opening track, and it really drew me in. Very theatrical in its presentation, and I absolutely love it. The second track that really stood out for me is the second track, and that is understanding the truth or understanding truth. I'm sorry, and it it's a simplistic piece, but it's still very very meaningful and very thought provoking. Track three is another one that stood out for me as well and kept the flow of this album going, and that is Unspoken Spirit. And the way I would describe this album, it's like being on uh, a journey in the ocean or um, any body of water. It has its ebbs and flows, its ups and downs in terms of the overall feel of each song, but they carry you along. And track four is no exception. That continues that with Love of the Life, and it's another beautiful piece as well. Another one that stood out for me is track eight, Love and Understanding. It's just beautiful, and there's no other way to describe it. Followed by Just One Man, which is a song that appeared on the Living Tree, John Anderson and Rick Wakeman's album. This is a reworked version of it, and it really is amazing. In fact, it's one of my favorite songs on this collection as a whole. And track 11, Clouds, is also one of my favorite tracks on this album, and it's the perfect closing track for this collection, in my humble opinion. Now, I shouldn't have to tell anyone watching this if you are a classic Yes fan, this is an album that you want to have in your collection. Uh, if you are a classic Yes fan, you more than likely have a vast majority, if not all, of John's solo work. Um, Especially Elias of Sun Hill, his first solo album, which is very much categorized as sort of an extension of Yes, and that's how I consider it, in my opinion. It's sort of a missing uh, link in the Yes catalog. But Survival and Other Stories is really a thought provoking and meaningful journey, like I said, and it really has its ebbs and flows, like I said before as well. but it never falters, it never drags. And that's the one thing I can definitely say about the track listing on this. The momentum is consistent. You're carried along and it's over, and before you know it, you're pressing play once again. At least I was. Um, and that's rare these days. But this album has that quality about it, and I highly recommend John Anderson Survival and Other Stories. It is a must for any John Anderson fan. So I hope that this album review, albeit brief, was somewhat informative to you, the viewer, and that you at least experience this album and maybe add it to your collection. Um, it's an album that has substance, it has weight to it, and it has soul. And it has soul in the aspect of a spiritual aspect, a real meaningful um, honesty that you can hear in John's delivery of the vocals, and the musical accompaniment is just magnificent throughout the album itself as well. So this is Rob with Media Awareness. I want to remind you all that the fundraiser continues, and all help is welcome. Um, Even $5 or $10 can make all the difference in the world, and you can even contribute anonymously. So please do what you can. I would greatly appreciate it. I am not only saving for the refurbishing of my existing scooter itself, but the purchase of a new scooter as well as the purchase of a new wheelchair van. So these are hefty purchases, but they are necessities nonetheless. And I do want to really, once again, thank all the people who have contributed thus far. They have allowed me to not only get a seat which is comfortable and form fitting, and definitely a lot more sturdy than my previous seat. I, in addition to um, the Dragon Dictate voice input program that I use to draft up all of my descriptions, in addition to writing in general, as that is my primary focus is becoming an established author at this point in time, and for some time now. I just haven't really submitted anything for publication as of yet. Needless to say, I digress. But I do want to really thank you all. You all are wonderful, and I love you all. And I'll see you all again soon. Have a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are. Take care. Bye.